The final
Yes,
college
yes, they
football
would.
playoff rankings will be announced on Sunday afternoon. Let's get a preview. Who's in your final top six?
I mean, there's no doubt it's Georgia number one, Michigan number two. You know, if one of those teams had a close game on championship Saturday, okay, maybe you flip-flop them or whatever. And then I think for number three, I've kind of gone back and forth. I think Ohio State will jump up because they've got to win on the road against a Penn State team that the committee really, really loves. And it also has a win over over Notre Dame as well. And then TCU is going to be number four. And look, I think you can really interchange Ohio State, TCU, whatever. But I think TCU, the resume, comparable, but, I think Ohio State has an edge in terms of quality wins. And I know the committee will never say this, but I think the idea of having a Michigan-Ohio State rematch and building that up for a month is, I think, going to be a big selling point. And yeah, you could say, well, they'll split them up and perhaps they'll play in the national championship game. Honestly, I think a month full of buildup is more entertaining and more intriguing than a potential national championship game meeting.
Wait, you think Ohio State is going to move up to 3 and they didn't even play this weekend?
I do. Because look, a loss to Michigan, the best loss. Now we're not going to really, like I said, I'm not going to put too much faith in good losses, but it's a pretty good loss. And then their signature win is better than TCU's. And I think the argument for TCU is they beat everybody on that schedule, and I'm fully on board with that argument. I understand it. And look, to me, it's 6-1, half dozen the other. I think right now the committee's going to look at TCU and say, okay, you lost on Saturday. A recency bias might be part of it as well, and Ohio State has a better win.
TCU had 5 top 25 wins this season, Barrett.
But not at the end of the season, and that's what matters.
They had a win against
It's
Texas
where you are at the
later
end
in
of
the
the
season. I mean, look, if you're right and Ohio State moves up to 3, I mean, that actually kind of stinks for Michigan. You're telling me that I had to beat them at the end of the season, and now I got to play them again. I beat them by 22, and then I got to beat them again to get to the national championship. I mean, you want to talk about biggest loser in the playoff? It might be Michigan. They lost to Georgia last year, 34-11, and then they got to see their bitter rival, according to you, in the playoff. Come on.
Yeah. No. Again, it's a good case. It's a compelling case. I get it. It's a case that if you have, if you argue it in a court of law, it's probably going to be, a hung jury in my mind. So, but yeah, I mean, I think Ohio State, the talent, they do work on eye test a little bit. The eye test is there as well. And they have a better win over Penn State. And, we watched that game in Penn State again, and JTT absolutely took it over. It was an impressive win over a Penn State team that, they value top 10 wins. They value top 25 wins. But if you beat a team in the top 10, that is really, really going to make an impression.
Man, if you're right come Sunday, we're going to be in for quite a month, as you said, because it would be quite the buildup to another the game in the playoffs. The game in the playoffs. I can't imagine, and it would be bonkers.
Look, I'm just saying, it is. They'll never ever say that they bring matchups themselves, that they're the architects of matchups. They'll never, ever admit to that. But let's be honest, it happens. They'll manufacture a good contest, one that can draw fans, casual fans, for an entire month. That'll draw them in. There's no doubt.
Yeah, that'll be quite the scene out at the Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, Arizona, if it's Michigan-Ohio State in the 2-3 game in the semifinals. We'll wait to see. Again, the release, the final rankings come out on Sunday afternoon, and that's when it'll all shake out, and we'll see if you're right or if Ohio State's in at 4 or TCU's in at 4. We'll see about it. Bear, appreciate the conversation. Great conference championship weekend from you.
It'll be fun, man. Selection Sunday. Can't wait.
Indeed it will. And also a lot of fun coming up because the transfer portal in college football officially opens on Monday, and we've got a palooza. The place to be for all the best coverage is the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel. Tune in from 10 a.m. through 6 p.m. Eastern as a panel of experts break down all the major moves from across the college football landscape. All gets underway Monday morning starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.